Professor Shoshana Zuboff, in the 2018 book called The Age of Surveillance Capitalism, stated that surveillance capitalism is an assault on human autonomy. And it detailed what many of us had been speaking about for decades prior. In fact, she had written kind of an entry point to this in 2002. But the surveillance capitalism that Shoshana Zuboff aptly named was and is the underpinning of almost all corporations to this day, to such an extent that the entire business world, from investment through to production, manufacture, logistics, marketing, and everything in between, runs on a syntax of accessing information that is personal and either inferring from that or manipulating with that or retailing that information to leverage for others. And this is what I'm concerned about, and what we're building itself is to address as well. There is a reality to it all in terms of what type of information is being tracked. And let's talk about it purely from the location standpoint. So we have a situation where our devices and applications are constantly tracking where we are and what we're doing. And that collection of what we could class as location-based information is more than just our latitude, longitude coordinates on a map. The locations that we're in are mainly around what our routines, our habits, and our real-world environments are for us. If we go to a certain place at a similar time, if a particular time of the week we tend to have a particular activity, that is one of the foundations of how your particular persona can be mapped. And if you think about the people that can use this information, it's very useful to know where someone's going to be at a certain time, especially if they are, let's say, near some way of retailing, or maybe they're in a circumstance where that is particularly emotive for them, and that might be a time to market to them better, or to coerce their opinion better, or to manipulate. Now, none of this is a conspiracy theory. All of it is very easy to find online. It's hidden in plain sight. It's that the population doesn't necessarily care that much about it. And I suspect that's because at the moment, the outcome, the negative potential consequence of this hasn't been felt yet, palpably. And because of the lack of any form of real impact that we can sense or feel or see, there is a subdued sleepwalking behavior that is something that I don't suspect will always be the case. Similarly, for smoking in the 30s and 40s and 50s, it was, in fact, the opposite. Smoking was seen as a good thing. It was, it made the man more masculine, and it made the female more stylish. And then it was realized that it could be carcinogenic, and then there was uproar. In fact, tobacco companies spent much of the next half a century campaigning in law courts and in ways of censoring information to come out that what they were peddling was cancer causing. Similar to now with surveillance capitalism. And so that's one of the realities that we have to deal with in terms of whether there is any attempt for the truth of it all to be made public. And if the entire business landscape is based on that not being as heralded as a danger, then even transmitting information about these things is difficult, because the people who are most useful in this surveillance capitalism are those who own the media landscape. So the information superhighway that you transmit information along is controlled by the people that would definitely not want these topics to be a concern for the public.